Welcome to the new Ultimate Hypermobility class. It's EDS Awareness Month. That means I've got my zebra leggings on and I'm ready to do some movement, hopefully with you. So EDS Awareness Month for me is about accessibility, about making things available to everyone, no matter what their ability. So today I'm going to be doing a class, a non-weight bearing class, no accessories. You'll just need something to support your head and neck because we are going to do some sideline work. And hopefully I'm going to show you different levels. So I'm going to layer it up as we go through. So depending on where you are, you can choose the level that you want to work at. You can follow me through and then stop at the level you want, or you can watch this back and obviously choose the level. And if you're more proficient, or more able, you might want to, or more conditioned, whatever we want to call it, you might want to go into the more sort of challenging option straight away. Okay, so as always, please look after yourselves. Don't do anything that doesn't feel right for you. Listen to your body. We're going to go slow and low, of course. We're going to start with a little bit of settling and breathing, and then we're going to move our bodies and hopefully enjoy some lovely gentle movement for Mindful Movement May, which we've been celebrating as well as part of EDS Awareness Month. So trying to really tap into the benefits of mindful movement. So let's see how we get on. Shall we start lying down? So as I said, you could do this in your bed. If you're not able to get onto the floor, that's absolutely fine. I hope I'm going to make things accessible enough. If there's anything you don't want to do, obviously don't do it. Please do listen to yourselves. Okay, so I've got a small head cushion. You don't need a cushion if you don't need one, but let's go ahead and lie down. Get ourselves comfortable. You might need extra padding under the pelvis. You might need an extra blanket. Just as an aside, we get lots of questions about the thickness of a mat to use with hypermobility. Go for as thick as you can get. Yoga mats are really, really thin and they don't really offer as much support as we might like. So I've got a really thick one. I can't remember exactly how thick it is. But Pilates mats tend to be on the thicker side. So if it's uncomfortable, get yourself extra padding, blankets, or get the thickest mat you can find. Okay, so let's get comfy. And if you're happy to close your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. And what I want us to do just to start is to take 3 conscious breaths. So just really being aware of the breath. Don't force it. Doesn't mean we have to do a massive inhale, but we're going to try and inhale through the nose. And we're actually going to exhale through the mouth just for now. And we're just going to sigh that out. So 2 more like that, very gently. And sigh it out. Now, as you sigh it out on this last one, can you start to feel the tissues kind of relenting, kind of just letting go a little bit? As I sigh, I'm drawing my attention down to my pelvis, really feeling those bones of the pelvis settling into the ground. So let's do 1 more. Inhale. Focus where you feel the weight. Maybe it's your pelvis, maybe it's your rib cage, maybe it's your head, maybe you don't feel it at all just now. Maybe you need a bit more time to settle, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong for any of this stuff. And then we'll just do normal breathing, whatever normal is for you without forcing it. If you're able, we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. If that stresses you out, obviously don't do it. Breathe through the mouth. Now what we're looking for is our settling, this is our unwinding. Can we just feel as we exhale that the bones do settle? maybe you can feel that there's a bit more pull of gravity. If we really let go, and I know that's a weird concept for hypermobility because we're so used to holding on, but can we really let go? And just have a moment of absolute stillness as we just breathe. And of course, we're not really still because the body is moving with the breath, right? But we can still appreciate this quiet moment. Okay, now we're going to start with some gentle movement. As I say, I'm going to layer it up for you, and we're going to finish probably on our side. So we're going to do quite a bit of sideline work today, which is why we need the cushions. Okay, so place your hands on your pelvis. Just get a sense of where your pelvis is sitting today. So it might be feeling like it's tipped back. You might feel that you've got a big arch under your back. Just take a moment without judgment. Just notice where your pelvis is. Depends on what kind of day you've had, how tight the muscles are. You know, sometimes we might have a bigger gap. Sometimes we might be a little bit more fallen back. So just take a moment to sense that. And then just start this absolute tiniest movement. You won't see my pelvis moving. I'm doing probably a millimetre forward and back, if maybe a bit bigger than a millimetre, but just gently rocking. You won't really see much happening. But I'm just gently feeling the weight of my pelvis and just allowing it to move forward and back. I'm not trying to engage anything. I'm not engaging my abdominal muscles. I'm just moving the bones. Okay, so that might be enough for some people. That can be really challenging to actually isolate this area and let it move. Okay, then if you're able, we're going to start making it a little bigger without any increased effort. So I don't suddenly start doing this and pushing. I keep the same sort of muscle engagement. Obviously it's going to get a little bit stronger as the movements get bigger, but I haven't started pushing and pulling. So hopefully you can see that the movement is still quite quiet, although you can probably see things moving now. So there's our pelvic rolls. And you know, a lot of people are scared to go forward. So unless it hurts your lower back, it's okay for the pelvis to tip forward. Yeah. A lot of people I see are very comfortable going backwards, and then they kind of come to the middle and there's very little room to go forward. But we need to be able to do an anterior tilt. Yeah. So don't be afraid without pushing to do those anterior tilts. And then just find wherever's comfortable for you. Okay, so layering up, we're going to work on a bit of pelvic stability. First thing we're going to do is maybe just lift the feet here. Okay, so that might be enough, just lifting a foot whilst you keep your pelvis heavy. Okay, maybe you could lift a heel whilst the pelvis stays heavy. So I'm not rocking to lift my heel. The pelvis is still heavy. Okay, so that might be enough. If you're feeling fancy and your brain good for your proprioception, you could alternate heel toe. Good for walking practice. Okay, that takes a little bit of brain power, so don't worry. Okay, so that might be enough. Maybe you could lift the heel and think about lifting the foot a little bit and popping it back down and feel the weight of the lower leg as it goes into the floor. So I lift it a little bit, put it down. Now give the leg away. Give it away. These quads need to switch off at that point. So lift, just a baby one, and give it away. Lift and give it away. That might, again, be too much. We go back to this, okay? Remember that little tip from another video I had where you can raise your feet up on books. So the lifting is a shorter lever. Really good if you're struggling to go from the ground. So if we're able to do that, maybe the next layer would be to bring it all the way up, keeping a nice angle at the leg if you can, and then lowering it down. So this is our knee roll. Now what's important here, and again you might be just moving up to this level, what's happening up here? Is this staying soft and quiet while we lift the leg? Because if I try and lift and I go, oh, and everything switches on and I get really tight, that's not conducive to a soft movement. Yeah, I'm putting more tension in my body. Okay, now if that's okay for you, maybe you're going to progress to lifting 2 legs. Okay, pelvis is still heavy, I'm still soft, I haven't, there's no flaring up here, my thorax is still heavy, and then I come down. Okay, so you've got several different layers there that you can play with. The whole point, keeping the pelvis heavy. Just make sure you're alternating legs if you're doing 2 legs. And then if you want to make it even fancier, we could bring those arms up, taking away more stability while we do the legs. You might just do that with your 1 leg. Yeah, so there's all these different variations, and that's why it's so good for EDS and HSD, because we can modify it, we can take things away, we can add things in. So there's always something that we can do, however small, that doesn't matter. But the mindset that we're doing something is what's important. Okay, so we've done a little bit of our pelvic stability. Just give it a little rock from side to side. Again, you might want to go bigger. That's okay. Just loosen off the lower back because we've just done a bit of stabilization work. I'm a big fan of moving things after you've done the stabilization. And then just come back to center. Now you might have been working things, so things might have gone a little bit. So I'm just going to do a little sigh again. Let all that go. Very nice. Now, shoulder stability. So hips, shoulders, biggest areas, aren't they, really? So how do we layer this up? So here I am lying on my mat or on my bed, and I'm going to layer up some hands into my shoulders. So I might just start doing this. Keeping my shoulders heavy, try not to tense up. I might just be doing a little bit of hand closing and opening. Yeah, absolutely fine. Even doing this though, check that your pelvis isn't getting involved. Yeah, I just noticed my pelvis wanted to get interested in that. So let that pelvis rest. Okay, so there's layer 1. Layer 2 might just be doing this. We might not even go that far, it might be doing this. Okay, that's fine. Might alternate. So I might do a little lift, like we did with the feet. I might do a little lift. Can I keep my ribs soft? So I don't want to lift and go, oh, yeah, I don't want to take away that safety. So what can I do, even if I'm here where I'm safe? Maybe I'm going to the right angle. So the most important thing is, what's the rest of the body doing? So this is your next level. Yeah, bring it up. It's exactly the same as we did with the legs. Okay. The next level might be both arms, shoulders heavy. So when I lift the arms, I don't want to bring my shoulders up. Yeah. Takes time. So if you're like, God, this is really hard, all I'm doing is lifting an arm. Takes time to let those shoulders drop back. Okay, that's next level. Next level might be trying to lift. Look how small I'm lifting. Now, I'm not lifting from my wrist or my elbow. I'm trying to let the weight of my shoulder drop, and that lifts that. What's your pelvis doing? Ooh. Always wants to get involved. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Let it rest. Okay, so maybe we're doing this. Maybe I'm starting to lift a bit higher. Who knows? Maybe. Doesn't matter where you are. And of course you can come back to this video and you might be amazed that, wow, I can do a bit more. I've got a bigger range. So maybe I'm able to start to go a little higher. Is this shoulder still heavy? Maybe I'm able to go a bit higher. Maybe I can go all the way.
Are those shoulders heavy or did it come with me? Shoulders heavy, armpits deep. So maybe I'm doing this. What's happening to the rest of the body? Always checking in what's going on elsewhere. Maybe I've progressed to 2 arms. Oh, that feels nice, both shoulders staying heavy. Now, coming down, we've got to go slow, mindful. Are my shoulders still heavy? Are my shoulders still heavy? Are my shoulders still heavy? Because I don't want to come up in this beautiful, mindful way and then just crash to the floor. Yeah, because gravity wants to crash us to the floor. So it's mindful, feel your body, what's it doing? Now, if you've done that and you're like, yep, I've got that, maybe we can lift, well, let's start with one arm. Maybe we can lift one arm. Again, same principle, we're not going to crash to the floor. Maybe I can lift the other arm. Now, remember, the thing we love to do with hypermobility, to resist gravity, I really want to lock my elbow to control that. That's not a good thing, right? So if I go up, where's the control? The control is from back here. This guy stays soft. Let's get these guys working. They're controlling it. Yeah, so just look for your little habits. Simple things, but they tell us a lot. I'm doing both arms now. Can they both stay soft? Can I control them from the back of the armpit? They tell us a lot about what we're doing in daily life, yeah? So, we've done a bit of pelvis, a bit of shoulder. We've moved the pelvis a little bit here, okay? Of course, I'm just going to slip this away. I'm going to do a little bridge. So again, I might stick with my pelvic rolls. I'll just move my hands. I might be able to just lift a tiny bit. Now, I'm not squeezing anything. I'm standing into my feet. Okay, so maybe I'm here. That's okay. Great. Still working my legs. Brilliant. Maybe I can take the whole pelvis off and hover. Belly soft. Let it go. Don't grip it. Let it go. Stand into those feet softly. We're not pushing. We're just standing into them. So maybe I can go a little higher. Again, choose your level. Choose your level. The feet go down, the pelvis floats up. Maybe you're at the stage where you can come all the way up. Still have a soft belly. Front body is lengthening, back body is holding you up. And you're going to soften into that back body on the way down. Lovely. One more time, wherever you are, doesn't matter. You do what's right for you. Whatever you're doing, check in with your belly. Mine's really soft, squidgy. My glutes are working, but I haven't squeezed them. They just know that we're doing hip extension, so they have to kick in. They have to work. And down we come. Very nice. Just take a little hug if that's accessible to you. Release that. And then slowly, slowly roll onto your side. So I hope we're doing okay and enjoying it so far. Let's go on to our side. Now, again, totally non-weight bearing. So we're not going to do anything loaded up top. We're going to replicate some of the stuff we've already done. So your body already knows some of these patterns, which is fantastic. Okay. We'll obviously do both sides. So I will be swapping over to the other way in a minute. So I'm going to sit on a chair. I've got this cushion. Hopefully my neck's in a pretty good alignment. What you wouldn't want is to be here. Can you see how horrible that looks? That's going to hurt my neck. I'm going to wake up tomorrow feeling pretty awful. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of leg, a little bit of arm again, okay? And then we'll come up and sit to finish off. Again, you do what's right for you. So I'm sitting in a chair position. Pelvis hasn't fallen forward, so just check that. So again, we've got different layers. I'm hoping to make this accessible. So first thing, I might just be able to roll forward and back a little bit. Can you see how the top leg is rolling forward? So the pelvis is going to go with it. and then the pelvis is going to roll back and the leg's going to come with it. So that's layer one. Now it might be really small. You might be like this, just gently rocking. That's okay. You're still working these muscles around your pelvis. You're bringing awareness to this sideline position. Then you might make it bigger. Okay, great stuff. Okay, next layer might be working from the pelvis. I might be able to lift just a little bit, tiny, look, a couple of centimeters. But I'm lifting from here. Didn't let my foot drop. Didn't let my foot drive. So what you shouldn't see is this or this. Okay, what we want is a mirror image, hopefully. Yeah, but no floppy feet. Yeah, I used to do that. Very floppy feet, try and keep the foot alive. Okay, so wherever you are, you're lifting. If you can go up to in line with your hip, yeah, great. Check that pelvis. Did it fall forward? Did it roll back? Okay, so that's the next layer. So we're making it bigger. And the final layer would be a straight leg, and see if we can lift it. Again, check that pelvis. It's not rocking. I'm not doing this. I'm not sacrificing a big range and losing my alignment. Yes, I can do a big range, but is it doing me any good here? Not really. So where can I keep that control? Okay, I'm going to go to about there. Nice and controlled. I can feel things working. Pelvis is still in a pretty good place. Gravity on the way back down. So I might go up. Gravity just wants me to collapse to the floor. Up, collapse. No, we're going up and slowly on the way down. Going up and slow. Okay? One more time, wherever you are, whatever we're doing, doesn't matter. And then bring it back in. Give those glutes a little tap. Give your thigh a little tap. Okay, same thing with the upper body. So shoulders, hopefully we're not rolling forward. So try and get yourself aligned. So same thing, I might just be doing a few hands, opening and closing without my shoulder getting involved. Okay. I might try and move that arm forward and back. So again, not driving it from the front, try and drive it from the back. Okay, so a small, I'm not even leaving my body. My elbow isn't coming off my body, but I'm learning some shoulder control in quite a supported way, which is nice. Okay, I might be able to, this is where the other arm comes in, bring all the hands out and start to lift. Now again, I'm not lifting from this, oh, that looks, look how that goes out of alignment. Can you see that? When I drive with my elbow, look what it does. So obviously we don't want to do that. So I'm trying to lift back to these guys, isn't it? Can we lift? Might be small, might be small, might be bigger. Whatever works for you, can you lift? You might find that your head naturally wants to turn and look at that hand. It's just more natural for the neck. It's as though you're pointing at something. That shoulder's heavy, it is not here. So really, really good for shoulder mechanics. Yeah, how do I actually lift my arm? Do I try and over recruit up here? Yeah, again, watch for that gravity on the way down. Okay, so you've got those different layers there. I hope one of those worked for you. Just take a moment, because we're going to have to change position. Okay, so take as long as you like. I'm going to take my time. Oh, because also, of course, if you've been lying down a lot, we might feel a bit potsy when we start to change position. So let's go nice and slow. Okay, so hopefully I can remember all of that. Let's see. Apologies if I get it get it mixed up, but we know kind of what we're doing. Okay, so settle in, make sure we're not collapsed. So where did we start? We started with a little rock, didn't we, for the beginning level. Just getting awareness that my pelvis can move My thighs are connected to my pelvis. However small we want to do that, okay? Pelvis is going to move. At this point, the pelvis is allowed to move, so don't try and fix it. Okay, now, second stage was this baby lift. Remember, from here, baby, 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 maybe getting bigger, baby. Okay, remember the mirror image. Don't drive with other joints. We're working this guy, the big guy. Okay, very nice. And maybe remember we're keeping that pelvis level. Now this leg, you'll see, can you see the difference? I've got a lot less range on this one because this is the one that's had my hip arthroscopy. So everything's been tightened up. So there's no way my leg is ever going much higher than that, which is fine, yeah. So it's not about the range, but I'm keeping that pelvis nice and stable. I can still feel my glutes working, okay? So it's not about being able to do massive ranges, okay? I still get everything I need from that little range. Less is more, remember, with hypermobility. Okay, so I think that was it on the legs. Let's come back to the shoulders. So we'll start with our little hands, just breathing. Really let yourself settle into the side of the body, yeah, just like we did on the back. Okay, and then we just started to move, very small, working from the back of the shoulder. So the whole thing isn't coming forward. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this, working from the back, and then maybe it got a little bigger. Okay, very small, soft hands, pelvis still heavy, and then we were able to start lifting. Do you remember? So from the back, watch those elbows don't get involved. Maybe we can make it bigger. Maybe we can make it bigger, and my head starts to follow. Yeah, check that shoulder position, work on the gravity on the way back, work with it, work with it, work with it. Do you know on this gravity bit, I keep going on and on about it. Do you know why? Because at this point here, this point here, this point here, this point here, that's where we're going to get really strong. The eccentric phase now, resisting, 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 I'm going to get stronger. If I go up and then just crash, I'm not working anything, yes? So don't skip the coming out of something. Very nice. I think that was all of it. So very slowly, take your time, take your time. We're going to come up to sit. Okay, so I hope, let's just see how we feel. Sit however you want to sit. If you can't sit like this, don't worry. Sit on a chair, sit on your bed, sit however works for you. So just take a moment wherever you are and just take again. Let's go back to where we started. 3 breaths with a little sigh. Sighing helps regulate the nervous system. So we're going to sigh it out. One more time. Now, just take a moment, a mindful moment, eyes open or closed, whatever works for you. Just feel that pelvis. See if you're more conscious of your pelvis. See if you're more conscious of the back of your armpits. We've paid them a lot of attention, haven't we, the back here. Maybe your arms are sitting a little differently. Can you still give your pelvis away? Again, no judgment. Try not to judge. Come back to this video and see if things have changed. Yeah, it takes time, to make these changes. But I want to thank you for joining me for this little class. I hope it was accessible to everyone. I hope it was helpful, gave you some tips. Thank you for joining me on this new Ultimate Hypermobility class. And I will see you again very soon.